Hi, my name is Jay Sugarman, and I want to welcome you to Innovation Showcase. The main purpose of this ongoing series is to inform viewers about exciting innovations and creative individuals across the fields of business, science, technology, education, and the arts. Today, via Zoom, we're fortunate to have as our guest Cindy Eggleton. Cindy is one of the co-founders, and she now serves as the CEO of Brilliant Cities, formerly known as Brilliant Detroit. Brilliant Cities is an early education nonprofit that incorporates a neighborhood-powered model, ensuring children from pre-birth through age 8 that they're school ready, healthy, and supported. During the program, we're learning about the history and mission of Brilliant Cities and how it's grown, developed, and operates today. We'll learn about some of the various programs and resources that are available, and in so doing, come to better understand and appreciate the extremely positive impact these efforts have had for thousands of children, families, and the participating communities. Let's start by meeting Cindy and then finding out all about Brilliant Cities. Welcome, Cindy. So delighted you're able to be here.
Jay, I'm totally thrilled to be on here, and you are actually a delight to talk to. So,
Well,
looking forward to the conversation here.
Well, thank you so much. And I just have to start by saying congratulations to you, your colleagues, participating families, and communities, what you've been able to achieve only since 2016. And the future that you have planned is incredible as well. But before we jump right to all that, it would be of interest, I think, to briefly hear maybe a little bit more about your background, professional interest, and then association with Brilliant Detroit.
Yeah, so I am co-founder of Brilliant Detroit, which has become Brilliant Cities. And a little bit about me is I've been in a lot of different roles. I've been really lucky. At one point, most recently, I was on the funder side of things, and I had a $60 million portfolio, which sounds like wow, right? That's the best of
Sure
all worlds.
does. Yeah.
And we were doing great things, but within that, I found like true transformation for families with families and community at the center really should be the way forward. And so that was something in my heart, and also something in my heart about how to create a model that actually could be delivered at a broader scale at an affordable price, to get to all the kids and families that really want what's best for their kids. The other piece about me is I am a first generation high school graduate. My family grew up in poverty. And this whole looking at how the statistics fall, et cetera, is extraordinarily personal to me. And I know and knew we must, could, and should do better. And so I co-founded Brilliant Detroit, which again has become Brilliant Cities, or is becoming an
Mhm.
umbrella. There's an umbrella Brilliant Cities with my two co-founders, Carolyn and Jim Bellinson. And it was a risk. Let me just say, innovation is not something like it for the weak, need individuals. I took a 75% pay cut, which at my age might not have been the smartest thing one could think of. And it has been the best journey I have ever been on. I think we all need to sometimes take those risks, do those things that we see contributing to the world in the same way, doing the same things over and over. We all hear that it gets the same results. And so this has been an amazing journey of which I'm really grateful for.
You know, when you mention innovation, what occurs to me is what I often hear about successful innovators is they see the importance of going right to the users, the clients that are going to use their innovation. And what you and your colleagues, I think, noticed and have done so brilliantly, so to speak, is to do that in the social service realm. could you speak to how you had that idea of working closely with the communities and how you really flush it out so brilliantly? I can't get out of my mind just the importance from reading and watching videos and other background information, the value you have on listening to the people who you're serving, collaborating with.
Yeah, I think this is really important. And first off, what we do is to work on kid success neighborhoods where we repurpose a house in the middle of the neighborhood that becomes that gathering place in education, health, family support. You sort of said that at the beginning. I think one of the things I've learned along the way, and I think you're speaking to right now, is I used to think in life you had to know a lot. I have learned you don't need to know anything. You should listen to the people you're working most closely with. And when you do, and when you really build things in that way, it works. And that's really what successful businesses do. They create a value chain so that there is value and that people do want to come and they do want to use something. And that comes from understanding who you're working with. And that is at the center of everything we do. I have a co-founder who is a business person looking at things in that way. And we have built that into every aspect of what we do. So from the standpoint of we don't go anywhere unless we're invited in, to doing multiple listening sessions in every community, every neighborhood to see what might be unique. I think we are always thinking about cultural competency, but we're not thinking about place competency, what matters in that place. We also hire from the neighborhood. And so that makes a big difference. And we form an advisory in the neighborhood. And that advisory is on point to telling us what's working and what's not working. And again, we listen, but there's another element to it. We do. So oftentimes people are asking people, what do they think? How do they feel? And people will tell you if you ask them,
Yeah.
but they're not acting on those things. So when we formed Brilliant Detroit in 2016, who knew, right? Would this work, right? And a lot of people were like, it's in a house. Do people live there? No, they don't live there. What are you doing? How is this so hyper local? And today we've served over 24,000 people. We
Wow.
have 24 neighborhoods we're committed to. In Detroit, we've opened up another city in Pontiac, and we're about to open up Philly. What is the same in all of those is this desire and need in a disconnected world to be connected, to be heard, to feel that people belong. And so that's what's mattered. And I'm going to give you an example that I share sometimes because I think it brings this issue home. One of our participants at the very beginning, when I met her, she had lots to say, and she basically had said, I'm 26, I have 4 kids, I've had a hard life. I've been homeless, I don't read well, and my kids are struggling in school. And nobody also loves their kids more than me. And we found that. What she said to me is, I'm telling you this because I have never once felt that at any place that I went to that was providing me what I asked for, that I was cared about
Mm,
until now. Because creating something where you're listening and you're genuinely caring, and that is part of the model, made a difference. This
yeah.
individual started to come 6 days a week.
Mm,
This was 6 years ago. And today, she has actually helped launch a mental health peer-to-peer program throughout the city. We
wow.
piloted it. She went from a first grade to a sixth grade reading level so she can take her own GED. Her
Fabulous.
children are all at a 3.0 or better. Her daughter
Mm,
won the reading award last year. She bought her first house and
wow.
she is now our staff. So what she was saying to me is organizations provide programs and services and a community is there for each other, for both.
Mm,
And it turns out That is the secret sauce we're all looking for. We all want to belong. And so that actually drives change in individual. That answered the question, but it was a lot of information in there.
Oh, it's fabulous. I mean, it's just a wonderful example of the life-changing efforts that have come out of the Brilliant Cities model. I mean, here we see a great image that sort of epitomizes the collaborative community approach of different constituents. And as you were saying, how you have the model in mind, but that it's adaptable and flexible for the certain culture of different communities, which all communities have, and they can all build from it, and you take from it as well to shape it into the best possible situation for all involved is remarkable. And one of the features you referred to it, you could speak a little bit more, the importance of securing a location, how you go about that, and then turning into the hub of the kid's successful neighborhood.
Yeah, so we actually, once we've done listening sessions, we do ask for community to help volunteer and help us select a site. You can see from the picture here that we actually try to pick places that really need renovation and a return to the community. And the neighborhood helps pick the house. The
Mm.
reason for that is they know better than us what's going to work. If you look at this particular house, it was in terrible shape, and that's pretty typical. And maybe you can show what it looks like after that. And this actually brings
Wow.
hope to the neighborhood, right?
Mm.
They can physically see. So I say it's like transformation of a place that becomes transformation of individuals and then a neighborhood and then a city. And so the best way I can describe that in the city of Detroit, which is what we're bringing to other cities, is we are in these micro neighborhoods. And our promise is that when we have multiple micro neighborhoods, we can actually change population level change.
Mm.
So who knew? But this is actually from the community. So last summer, our summer efforts give a really good example of that. And we're not even fully built out yet, but within
Mm.
that, we were able to, across the city, in all these neighborhoods, with all these community members and families, show an increase of 92% of kids did not have summer slide for their reading, and
Wow.
actually 85% grew their reading. We also worked with more kids in the public school system. This is
Mm.
really important because the question is, how do you get to system level change? And having been on a funder side and always thinking about system level change, for me, it is at a micro level. Change is very local. And when people own their own change, it becomes durable change, lasting change. And that's really the space that we enter into it.
Terrific, terrific. You know, just before we move on from the house, the location, I know in reading about your situation, you stress the importance of a few different areas within the house. Could you just speak to that, please?
So first off, there's something magical about being in a house. People say it all the time. They feel like it's the grandmother's house that used to be on the block that everybody gathered. They feel um, it's a second home, and that matters because they keep coming. But we have programs and activities in education, health, family support, and community. So in each of these locations, we have them open enough where we can move things around, but there are spaces where tutoring can happen. There are spaces where we can have community gatherings. There are spaces for all those aspects of it, and also for adults to take efforts and be part of efforts while their kids are in a playroom. So that's important. The other important thing is that in our locations, we always have a community garden. And
Mm.
so that built out, and in most of our locations, not all, if there's a park on the street, we don't have that. We do a side lot that gets built out And it's designed by the community. It's resident-led design. So again, it's building and people can see it and it becomes a fabric of the community, but it is designed to actually have people be able to gather, to feel comfortable and to grow and learn. Also, there's always home cooked meals going on, I should say
Wow.
that.
Fabulous. Just it sounds a lot more like grandma's the more you speak about it. And just to have that impressive physical presence um,
Mhm.
just raises everybody's sense of investment, involvement, to want to be part of something so positive and encouraging.
It's a good news story. And so I think within that, you're raising something that's really important. And I said it earlier, is like it's a disconnected world sometimes. And this is something where people can really come into. We've had over 3,500 volunteers as well, giving
Wow.
their time to this. And it's from multiple zip codes. We have over 32 zip codes that are volunteering
Ooh.
at our spaces. And I think that says something right there. It says that it is a basic need for us as humans, and that when you create something that can happen in that way, people want to be part of it. And beautiful and really, like, not to overuse it, but brilliant things do happen. And that's really what we've seen. We've seen 3 reading levels of growth for our kids, and we've also seen significant improvement in education, health, and family support. These are the pillars that are important for success in life. And really, ultimately, in addition to just the beauty of people and individuals coming together and doing what's right for their kids and families, this is a model that actually builds on each individual and creates community. It's a beautiful thing, and it's working. That's the bottom line.
Oh, incredibly successfully. You know, you mentioned the different programs, and I think and putting them together, how did you go about finding collaborators? I know our research based is an important part of your work. Could you speak a little bit about how those programs in the social services, health, and education got off the ground and are thriving today?
Yeah, you know what? You're asking the best questions. So I just want to say that. So one of the things we said at the very beginning is we would do no competition. So we're additive. We have over 200 partners in our work, and those partners are providing programs, services, and activities at these locations. And you know, many times people talk about how do you collaborate, and I think that we've been really both lucky, but there's a principle here, which is on values. We work with partners from a value standpoint. The value is like believing in people, believing in community from a standpoint of a broader standpoint. For our partners, they are looking to work with people. They're looking to have clear data and have something be research-based so that
Mhm.
there's outcomes. We're able to provide that. So we're really curating and coordinating this because each individual has different needs on where they are in life. And really, pretty much you can get that along with where we are right now. We are at a point in the world where more needs to happen beyond just school. And
Mm.
also, we're working with the very littles, but with their caregivers. We believe strongly that it's a family approach that will create change. And we've been able to see that. And I think others see this because that's where today, and I couldn't tell you, Jay, how this totally happened, but we've had 31 cities and 7 countries reach out to us to say, how do
Wow.
we do this? Now, the other component of having all these partners and everybody working together in an additive way, not a competitive way, is we're able to do programming for a year for a person for about $1,000 per person. That's
Mm.
a ridiculously
Oh,
affordable price that we pay. And I think we have to figure out innovative solutions like that to get to the number of kids and families that actually need more in their lives. And yet the system, it sometimes it can't be done because it's too expensive to implement. So that's another really critical part of what we're doing.
Mhm. The success that you've been highlighting for us has been recognized well beyond Detroit in many ways throughout the country and beyond. Would you speak a little bit? I know being modest, but would you speak a little bit? The organization rather recently received the Elevate Prize, an incredible honor. Just inform viewers about that distinction, please.
Yeah, I just want to say you're right, Jay. I usually don't talk about these things that much, but I will tell you, I think there's a really important piece here, and that is that people can have a, a really good ideas, but unless you can have a solid business founding and help, you can't always implement in a way that's going
Mm.
to live on. Elevate Prize, they choose 10 people a year internationally that they feel really have those innovative ideas, and they pour into them in
Yeah.
ways that are really just unprecedented and feels like true love. And, we've also had organizations like DRK Foundation stand together, and AARP, which again, I'm
Mm.
not young. I've had won the AARP Purpose Prize previously. Those are groups that really have poured into us as an organization. And I really want to acknowledge they have helped us grow and think in a way that we can scale properly.
Speaking of growth, I know you have several U.S. cities in mind in the coming years. Could you share a little bit about that direction of Brilliant Cities?
Yeah, so in regards to the growth, so we have a very clear growth plan in that we will be going to 3 cities as a start. We have committed 3 cities out of Michigan. We're also going to expand in Michigan. We've committed to Philly. Philly is next. And it is as recent as last week, we have our neighborhoods, which I won't name yet, but we have our first few neighborhoods that we're going to go into, and we will set up there. Again, we will hire from Philly and the community. That's an important piece of this. Chicago and Cleveland are on our short list as well. And so from there, we will likely take another 3 cities that we're what we're calling fully supported. Then we're going to create an affiliate model. And ultimately, Jay, we want to give this model away. That's the
Mm.
bottom line, is to just give it away. Um, we want to make sure that change is happening, but I think there are 3 pieces that we've been able to show. One, how to do early childhood differently and get to more people, how to do not-for-profits differently so
Mm.
that you are working together as a whole. And 3 is how to do place in a way that matters and creates the durability in a community. We want to share those lessons. We were never wanted to be an institution. We wanted to be a way.
Fantastic, fantastic. Looking back again, just since 2016, what are some of your thoughts, perhaps your colleagues, and where you've come since then to the model you have now and what the future looks like?
Yeah, so looking back, I don't think we thought we would grow this fast. Let me just say that, but it's
Yeah.
been driven by neighborhoods. We continue to have waiting lists to get into to be part of this. What I see is, let me say, 10 years down the road, we will serve a quarter of a billion people will be in the
Wow.
and also, both there will be brilliant cities in multiple places worldwide, and there will be understanding in the world that there are different ways to provide support in community. that put people at the center. And in fact, those ways create better change.
Incredible, incredible. For viewers watching and others, what are some of the ways they can learn more about Brilliant Cities, perhaps get in touch with you?
Yeah, thank you so much. So first off, they can send a email to info@brilliantcities.org or brilliantdetroit.org, info@brilliantdetroit or brilliantcity.org. They can go to our website and they can make a call. And then I'll just give my personal email is my name. It's C Eggleton, Eggleton, @brilliantdetroit.org. We would love to talk to others.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous. Well, this has been incredible, Cindy. I just can't get over. I'm so glad I came across reading. I think I read about your selection with the Elevate Prize initially, and then got around to getting in touch. And just so impressed with going to your site, reading all the background information that you provide, the details that you provide about the program, the key features, just so impressive, and how you've taken that initial idea. Again, you can't get over saying just since 2016, and how you and your colleagues have put forces together, emphasizing collaboration and listening and working together as a team. I can't think of an organization that epitomizes it takes a village any better than Brilliant Cities and what you and everyone involved have accomplished. So continued success with future endeavors.
Thank you, Jay. And really, you're part of the team now. So I think it's all of us, and I think it's how do we tell these stories and how do we lift up others, and it matters. So I just again so appreciate being here, and you, what a delight.
Well, again, thank you so much for your time. Look forward to following your efforts, and maybe you'll make it to the greater Boston area, Massachusetts, one of these days. It'll definitely be our good fortune. So look forward to staying in touch. Thank you again, Cindy.
Thank you, Jay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Also want to thank those of you watching for joining us, and hope you'll be able to tune in next time.